that 197 offer person 6 months from now or a month from now could be the $25,000 to $50,000 person if you give them a chance to try you out.
You are listening to Amplify Your Success Podcast, episode 322. And today you're going to discover how to make fast cash with easy yes offers. You ready for this? Let's get started. Welcome to the Amplify Your Success Podcast. Get ready to ramp up your revenue, amplify your impact, and make your mark in the world. This is the show for experts, thought leaders, and service professionals who want to shatter their limits and achieve that next level. You're going to find out from other experts and influencers how they made it. Now, let's get amplified. Hey there, inspired entrepreneurs and business leaders. It's your host, Melanie Benson, authority amplifier and possibility igniter for expert-based business owners. And today I've got a special guest joining us to take us through something that's so impactful right now, fast cash offers. I can't wait to share her with you. I've known her forever, and she's got a real gem here that I know you're going to get a lot out of. And speaking of gems, have you taken my authority blocker quiz yet? Now, if you know you have a very valuable solution, and as a matter of fact, you look at all of the potential clients and you watch them maybe choosing your competitors or maybe even just staying stuck in their problem, and you suspect it's because you're invisible to them, they're not choosing you because they literally cannot see you, then chances are you've got a hidden authority barrier. Now, these authority barriers lie dormant and you can be doing all the right things, but chances are you feel like you still are not getting the traction you should be. That's because your authority isn't speaking for you in the market. And you're probably operating a little bit like a best kept secret. Having authority gives you an edge in your market. It helps give you a visibility advantage. So in this quiz, you're going to identify what your number one authority barrier is, and I'll help you unpack how to solve that, how to dissolve its hold over you and start getting traction as a highly paid authority. So if you head over to melaniebenson.com/authority quiz, I'll also link that up in the show notes for you. We'll get you hooked up with some very powerful insights to get some big traction in your business this year. Now, let's get into today's episode. Welcome back, amplifiers. Today, I hope you get a pen and a paper ready. You're going to want to take some notes because we're talking about how to make fast cash with easy yes offers. Let me introduce you to my longtime friend and colleague, Katrina Sawa. She is the CEO and founder of JumpstartYourBusinessNow.com. She is lovingly known as the Jumpstart Your Business Coach because she kicks her clients into high gear, making more money, doing what they love fast. She is the creator of the Jumpstart Your Marketing and Sales System, 10x international best-selling author with 20 books, including Love Yourself Successful, Jumpstart Your New Business Now, and the Jumpstart Your Blank, Fill in the Blank series. She's also the CEO of Jumpstart Publishing, where she helps entrepreneurs publish books that generate more clients and revenue. And now she's the founder of the International Speaker Network, a free educational networking group with thousands of members. She's also been featured on the Oprah and Friends, XM Radio Network, ABC, and the CW. Katrina, thank you for joining me today. I've been excited to have this conversation, and I had so much fun when I was your guest for the International Speaker Network. What an amazing group you've put together.
Yeah, it's a fun group. And I know speaking is one of the fastest paths to cash. So it's why I run that group, because I think most entrepreneurs need to speak more and really hone their skills on that for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of speaking as well. I think, as a matter of fact, that may be how we originally connected. Some form of speaking community or speaking at a similar event or something like that. And man, I have known you since 2007.
Probably 5 or
2005? Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in
I,
there, I
I
believe
was
we
thinking
ran into
back.
each other at some entrepreneur events.
Yeah, love it. It's one of the powerful things I think about community and collaboration is a lot of us, especially we've been around a while, like we keep kind of finding a new way to reconnect and it's one of
Yeah,
the blessings and the gifts. So
fun.
glad to have you here today. So let's just kind of establish some common context for this theme today of easy yes offers. Can you just share with us a little bit what you mean by that?
So an easy yes offer is something that will make people buy today, immediately, as soon as they meet you. So it's a lower priced offer typically. Okay. And that could be done in person is how I used to teach it. But now there's also spin-off on ways to do it online as well. But the goal is people say, well, I'm not getting enough clients. Well, there's ways to make money every single day. And sometimes people are just not assertive enough, or they don't have the right try me out offer or introductory thing. And you just don't know what you don't know. And you could try it. Yeah.
Mm. So it's basically a low risk first step with somebody.
Yes.
Takes
Yes.
that risk out of the equation. And you're
And
like, how do you say no to this offer kind of thing?
yeah, stupid easy, right? I'm all for making high-end offers. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think you
Mhm.
should have a wide variety of offers, but this is designed to make it so if you have a 5-minute conversation with someone, they'll buy it today.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. And I think there's a lot of opportunities, especially as speakers, where these offers might come into play. So when do you think it's most appropriate to make one of these easy yes offers?
Well, it's, originally I taught it when you're at an event in person. You don't have to be the speaker. You don't have to be a vendor or exhibitor to make an easy yes offer. You can just be sitting at a conference table with 7 other people, and you all go around the room and share what you do. And you could, say, I do blankety blank, and I actually have a really cool thing that's only $47. And that's what most people take advantage of when they meet me right away. Right. And it could be the juiciest thing that people that want what you've got will say, oh my God, really? And then they'll be like, okay, here's my credit card. Right. And it used to be that we would take physical order forms with us when we went to places, and they could fill it out and buy it. And I can't tell you how many things I've sold in that kind of a setting, not even being the speaker. So that's really the number one place to do it, is just to be prepared at any given point, anywhere you go, to be able to sell something.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love that you're giving people like a way to not actually even have to be the chosen. Because
No.
let's face it, like most events, there's very limited spots to be a speaker. Not everybody's going to do sponsorships. So how do you maximize, your visibility and those
Mhm.
moments where you're in connection conversations? That's great. I love that. So let's unpack that a little bit more though, because I'm assuming that you probably have a list or a series of places where you might have an opportunity to make an easy yes offer. So you've shared one. We know like being on stage probably one, but how else might that like be an advantage we should look for?
Yeah. So, uh, of course, we want to be the speaker and then the exhibitor, and then if all else fails, be the attendee in person. Right.
Mhm.
You gotta be prepared to make the sale, though. You can't just say, okay, I'll follow up with you on Monday and I'll send you the link, or when I get home, no, it's about making money today. So you do have to have it easy for someone to go to your website and click and buy. Or
Mm.
while you're standing there with them, please don't just go off and send them a link. Or you take the credit card and you put it into a physical form. I still use printed order forms today at events because I am in control of that sale then. I do not want to let somebody else be in control of potentially going to my website later when they get distracted and not do it. Right. So there's the in-person. And nowadays with virtual, you can have an easy yes offer and still not be the host of the call or the speaker on the call or the panelist. You can just be in the audience and be listening and paying attention and provide a resource. Oh, I have a resource for that. It sounds like a bunch of people here need to know how to delegate to a VA, and they don't know how. They're all new people. So here, I have a $27 training on that. If anybody's interested, go check it out. Right. So that could be, and you have a link and you have a little blurb like a little 2 or 4 sentence blurb that you're going to copy and paste into the chat. So you got to be prepared with the blurbs now instead of, that you can copy and paste into the chat. So there's a lot of different places to do this. You could do this, in person or virtual. And then there's, of course, a lot of different types of easy yes offers. We'll get to, I'm sure, in a sec.
Yeah, we'll definitely. Well, let's talk about that. Well, before you do that though, I was just thinking technology wise, I don't know if you've ever used QR codes, but I was just imagining, for those people that are more technologically savvy, you could have a little postcard that you hand out at events or some way to share like a little digital image that has a QR code for your easy yes offer. We've been experimenting with that and it's actually really bumped up sales quite a bit when we use them.
Yeah, I do like virtual or QR codes on printed things. The biggest mistake people make, however, with doing that is they'll only put the QR code. They'll put like a headline or the title, and then they'll put the QR code, but they will not also put the click online at www.da. You have to do both.
Yeah, good call.
I can't even tell you 90% of the things I see with a QR code does not also have the URL, which is the mistake. Yeah.
It's the little things, right?
It is.
The little details.
I'm all about those little details. I am so about the details. It's ridiculous. Nobody's thinks about all these little details. And I do. I find all those little holes and those little opportunities to increase conversions or opportunities. But most people miss a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Well, let's talk about some of those examples of easy yes offers that you mentioned.
So first, I'll tell you what not to make an easy yes offer. So something that is not an easy yes offer is anything over, I say, $200. So under $200 is usually some amount of money that someone is willing to quote unquote risk in trying someone out. Okay. So the other mistake is that people will say, oh, I have a low end membership. It's only $25 a month and you can get into that. No. Or an 8-week program that's only $197, easy yes offer. No, it can't be a recurring thing. It can't be a monthly membership. It can't be a long-term thing for an easy yes offer to be really easy, because a really easy, to me, the best thing to do is a package. So when I used to speak or go to events or even have exhibitor booths, and even now, it might be a $97 package or a $197 package. And then you throw a few different things in it. And it's probably going to be $1,000 or a $1,500 value. But that's what makes it easy, because they're like, And the other thing to consider to putting in it is a bunch of different learning styles. Don't just give an online course, period, end of story, because some people aren't course learners and don't want to learn that way. You have to consider the learning styles. So the best one that sold the most for me ever was a ticket to a live event where they had to travel and come 3 days in person. Now I do them virtually, but the same thing. 3-day live, working with somebody, an online training so they can do it themselves, a one-on-one 30-minute call with me to get support, not a sales call, but actually coaching. And one of my books, someone who likes to read, book people, right? And if you don't have a book, you can do an ebook or whatever. But like that 4-thing package for $197 sold like hotcakes when people were just trying me out. I'm telling you, because almost every single one of those was worth $197, if not more, by itself, with the exception of the book, right? But even the value that you get from the book could be. But so that's really the best thing. But I have so many other examples if you want.
Yeah, there's another term that's coming to mind, and let me just see if this is where you're going with this. The term loss leader, basically, getting people to make a small investment, knowing you're not really getting the full value of whatever it is you're delivering, but it's a way in which you can start to develop rapport, you can start to develop trust, you can start to build a connection, you can solve an immediate pressing problem and open up a dialogue to see if there's another step that you might take together. And they've already experienced you. So you're bringing buying resistance down and you're bringing value up by giving them an easy way to start working with you.
Yes. And a lot of people will say, okay, well, but my one-on-one, I can't put a one-on-one in that because my one-on-ones are $500 an hour. Well, mine are $1,000 an hour. And I would still do it because they have to experience me and they have to experience me. So if I really want to sell coaching, then they have to experience me, the person, not just the recorded me or the read me experience, but they have to experience me. It could be a group training that you're doing live. That is still an experience with you. So that could be a leveraged way to include an experience with you. But don't get caught up with my hourly rate is, I can't possibly charge that, because you're right. Too many people are skeptical these days. Like, we've been through like 12 to 15 years of social media and online buying information products and all this stuff. Like, most people have spent and invested 10,000 or more that they feel like they've wasted, right? And they don't want to do it again.
Right.
So
yeah, the fear of something not working or not, like them not being accountable to it, is high these days. And I love these easy yes offers as a way to help people have a little more confidence. Like, you're not spending $1,000, you're spending $100 to $200 or $50, something like that.
Yeah. Well, and people are doing less quote unquote strategy sessions too. So even if your number one goal is to get people on a call with you from your lead generation and your follow up and all that, they're not booking as much as they used to, right? Let's face it. So we have to get creative with getting in front of them and getting them to experience us. The old way is gone. You got to come up with different ways.
Yeah. And you're talking about free strategy sessions, the
Correct.
positioning. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I totally agree with that. Okay. So you covered some great ground there. And I'm just wondering, somebody's like, okay, I'm going to start developing an easy yes offers, or any other like pitfalls or places where people kind of blow the whole positioning around an easy yes offer that we should cover?
Well, don't call it an easy yes offer when you're out and about. Because you can
positioning is everything.
That's one thing. And I think you just have to position it like, when I first meet people, and I meet people all the time that need what I offer, and I try to make it really easy for people to try me out and see how we can work together without a huge investment of time or money. And so this is a way where you can see if it's a good fit, and so can I, right? And so you can position it in a way like that, to where it's still, this isn't my normal rate, but I like to do this to find the right clients. And then there's people too that might be newer to business. Okay, well, I don't have a workshop. I don't have a do-it-yourself training yet. Okay, but you can create a group training every single month if you wanted to. So every time you sell an easy yes offer, they can get into the next class with you, where you could teach that. And then you could give the recording of it as well. And you probably have an ebook or a checklist or something written that you can give. So therefore, you can give a couple different learning styles right off the bat, even if you're new, in my opinion. Yeah. So don't let that get you held up, because people will say, well, I don't have that. Well, then create it. Like, you should be doing a free call, a group call, or a webinar or training or something every month anyways for list building. So just keep, just make it juicy.
Yeah. Oh, I have so many questions I want to ask you about this, but one thing that I feel like is super important right now is we were just talking about positioning, like how, don't call it an easy yes offer when you're putting it out there. Do you, like, let's say somebody's like, well, what do I call it? Or how do I reference it to the outside world, to a potential client? Do you have any suggestions you usually make to clients around that?
I mean,
Like what to call it?
Most common would be an introductory offer to try me out, try out and see if we're a good fit. A good fit offer, I don't know. I think it depends on the context. If you're speaking and selling it from stage, or if you're in the back of the room at the exhibitor table, or if you're sitting at a table. Sometimes sitting at a table, when it's just, you want to kind of do it off the cusp too. Hey, you know what? I'm thinking I could help you with that XYZ problem. That's what I do with clients. Usually people, come and work with me for 6 to 18 months, but I know we just met like 5 minutes ago, but if you're interested, I might be able to put together a quick little package to get you some help this week. We could follow up with a call on Thursday and do a one-on-one, and I'll even throw in this for you. And here's a copy of my book. And and I have a workshop next week. And if you want to come to that too, and I'd be happy to do that just so you could check it out for $197. That is like a $1,500 value. Would you be interested in that? Right? So there's your pitch. You can pretend like you're have an idea what you want to throw into it, but make it up on the spot. And then it sounds like you're doing a deal just for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe you have a few different versions of it that you can
Right.
pull from in the moment so you don't have to go scramble. I think that's really brilliant advice. And I would imagine that the more you really listen to what the audience needs or what that person needs, and you can kind of frame it or position it so it's connected to the problem they're struggling with, the more successful that, easy yes offer would be.
I would say too that especially advanced business owners like us, right? Been in business for a long time. They don't have time to like make a $197 offer. Most people are trying to sell a $25,000 or $50,000 offer, right? I get it. But that 197 offer person 6 months from now or a month from now could be the $25,000 to $50,000 person if you give them a chance to try you out. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time. So whether you're new or experienced, I still think it's a good strategy. And it can be very easy and lucrative, I think, in the long run.
Mhm. Yeah, I love it. It's such a great strategy, it really is. Is there anybody that shouldn't use an offer like this? I'm just curious, like if there's like people that should be like, this is not where you should focus your time and energy, or would it work for anyone in business?
Well, I would say I've worked with people on this who are massage therapists, for example, and estheticians, right? You could sell a package of, now, usually you don't want recurring, like sell a long-term thing, but 4 facials or 4 massages for the price of 2 might be an interesting thing, especially if you know you can sell up or get gift cards to them, or you're really good with customer service and you know they're going to keep booking after that. So that could be a thing. However, you have to take a smaller amount for that service. So you really have to be confident when you're doing these easy yes offers ahead of time like that you're going to be able to sell up, or you have other products to sell, or you have something else on the board. I'll tell you another example is a virtual assistant. I've had virtual assistants say, okay, well, just to get new people coming in, an easy yes offer is 4 hours for $100. Somebody that normally charges $50 an hour, perhaps, does 4 hours for $100. But once somebody passes their stuff off to you to do the 4 hours of work, do they want it back? No. If you do a really good job, you might. This is how one of my clients landed me as a client, is with an easy yes offer. And I've been with her for 5 years, okay, as a virtual assistant. So bookkeeping, same thing. My current bookkeeper got me, I don't even know how many years ago, because she said 4 hours for $25 for bookkeeping. And I was in the market for a new bookkeeper. I said, sold. I wrote her a check right then and there at the event for $100. And I've been with her ever since. And she does all my taxes. And now I have the corporation and a husband and all this stuff. I'm telling you, she's made thousands and thousands of dollars off of me because of an easy yes offer. It doesn't matter what industry, just get creative.
Mhm. Yeah, as you're talking about massage therapy, I was thinking of how I landed at the current place I am now. They started with a easy yes offer on Groupon, so they were widening the
Yeah.
reach. And then you would take that and book your first massage, and then they would give you a no-brainer package. Like you're like, you cannot walk away without getting the
Exactly.
package. And then,
Exactly.
of course, it starts rolling to their normal pricing. But I've been with them for 3 years, and I keep getting new packages because I really love, their massage therapy. And
Yeah.
that, I was just thinking is another way, like, you think of ways that you can get that no-brainer offer in front of more audiences where they're like, "Yeah, this is an easy yes."
Yeah. But too many
Alright.
people on Groupon or do coupons, and then they aren't good at sustaining the clientele, and they're not good with customer service, and that's where they shoot themselves in the foot. Yeah, I
I
used
totally
to be
agree.
in advertising, so
Yeah.
yes, I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah. I've actually booked people from Groupon and I'm like, never going back. That was a nightmare. So yes, you got to definitely be able to follow through with the rest of it.
Exactly.
Kat, you have so many great resources and tips around that. The strategy of EZS offers. Like, where could we point people towards so they could learn more with you, or maybe dig deeper into how to map out their EZS offer? Love if you share a resource.
Yeah, well, I do webinars and events and workshops, which is the best way because you'll get access to me, right? So you just want to get on my list and see when the next one is. Uh, However, I do have lots of other trainings. I have one specifically on pricing for profits that could be, it's a very easy yes offer of $27, right? I'm like, come on. So it helps you think outside the box of all these different business models from the low to the high, because we need a mix in order to
Mm.
really make a lot of money doing what we love, right? So, yeah.
Well, I think you mentioned too something about like a resource of free trainings. Just wanted to
Yep.
see if this is still relevant. Jumpstart Your Business Now, Biz
There's a
Now,
yeah,
BIZ.
there's a whole trainings page on my resources, whole free trainings page. There's a biz quiz there. The biz quiz will show you the gaps, what's missing. And it could be, I mean, I do more than just figure out your EZS offer, right? So the business foundation, the business models, the marketing strategy, the sales process, all of that stuff matters to make a consistent money-making business. So the biz quiz is really good. A lot of people take that and uncover their gaps, right?
Mm.
Of what's missing.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll link that up on the show notes, but jumpstartyourbiznaw.com/free trainings. Is that the
Yep,
best place to go?
that
Okay, good.
works. Hmm.
Kat, I love this moment in the conversation. Like everything you share has been so insightful and valuable, but I always have fun asking people a couple more personal questions about you. What would you say is the boldest thing you ever had to do to amplify the success of your business?
Get a divorce. Mm.
Oh,
From my starter husband.
the starter husband.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to have faith that the grass was greener. I was going to be able to do it by myself. I was going to be able to make enough money for a one income household in order to leave an unhappy marriage of convenience and two incomes. And that was probably one of the hardest things. It took me 2 years of unhappiness to say, no, I can't settle. I'm too young to settle. I want more, I deserve more, and I want more love in my life. I want someone who's supportive of what I'm doing. And it was the best thing that I ever did because I really took charge. But I had to have complete faith that it would all work itself out. And it has.
Mm. Yeah, and I would imagine, like, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but let me know if this is kind of where you are, because I went through something similar early on in my business trajectory. It when you have ultimate financial responsibility for your well-being, it kind of causes you to up level very quickly
Hmm.
and like build a business that can sustain itself. And I'm sure I don't know if that's what you went through, but that's definitely what happened for me in those moments.
Yeah, you have to have a fire in your belly. You have to be
Yes.
hungry. You have to want more. I talk to so many entrepreneurs, and I cannot believe how many are like, well, I don't need to make a lot of money, or we're okay, or I'm fine where I'm at. I'm like, well, then go get a job. Like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to have a fire in your belly. Otherwise, you're not going to build a really profitable business, and one that's not gonna like kill you and burn you out, because you have to have a life. So
Yes, I agree. Okay, last question.
mhm.
Looking back on the trajectory of this business, what's one thing you wish you would have done sooner?
Oh, listen to my coach. I hired coaches. We know some of the same ones I've hired. Like, but I didn't really listen to them because I thought I knew better, and my ego got in the way. And oh, that probably wasted me about 6 years. Honestly,
Mm,
true. It's painful to think about. So
yeah.
if you're going to hire someone, follow their path, follow their system, and listen to them. And I know it's hard to hire, it's hard to figure out who to hire, who's the perfect one? And there probably isn't one. There's probably 5 or 6 mentors that you need over the course of your business, if not more. I'm probably on number 12 because there's always new things. There's always the next thing. I learned my learning style early on that I'm not a product learner. I'm a person learner. So I have to hire the person one-on-one in order to get what I need and get where I need in order to make me implement. Because products don't do it for me. I won't listen. So you have to know your learning style. You have to be open to it and listen to your gut, not the hypey marketing sales pitch, please. And yeah, listen to the person that you've invested in.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable enough to really share that, because I think that happens a lot. And like, sometimes we
Mhm.
don't know what kind of coaching we really need, and we hire someone we think we need. And so anyway, that's a whole conversation. We could probably have a whole podcast episode
Yes.
just on trust and timing and really
Yeah.
like letting go of our ego, as you said, and
Yeah.
allowing ourselves to be supported to achieve things we didn't know were possible.
Yes.
Yeah, well said, my friend. Kat, thanks so much for joining us today. I'm excited to share you with our community here, and I can't wait to hear what kind of easy yes offers our
Yeah.
amplifiers put together after today's episode.
I know, me too.
Thanks for tuning in today, Amplifier. Be sure to join us right now in the Amplify Your Authority community at authorityamplifiers.com, and I'll share my 7 proven tips to be a highly paid expert that stands out in a crowded market. Plus, we're going to keep this conversation going, and I want to hear from you how you're going to amplify your authority and make a greater impact. Before you go, please take a minute to give our show and our guests some love over on your favorite podcasting platform. Subscribe, rate, and review. Leave your full name, and I'll spotlight you and your authority on social media.